So I waited a little bit to be able to gather everything I needed to gather to do this particular story, especially as it relates to Bright Morgan and his girlfriend. Of course, he had always said that he had a girlfriend and that he's not going into the house to look for any girls or look for anybody. But again, I mean, he could make friends, and that was exactly what happened in the house. He fell drastically for Mide. And Mide, we could tell Mide was the one that gave in. What I mean by giving in, it was the one that threw herself at him. You know, that kind of thing where you would, as a lady, you have to wait a little bit for somebody to chase you, and then you don't, and then of course you know you like them, but then you have to do that little bit of chasing, you know, for them to know that, well, you did do the asking. But we understand that the first time that the conversation happened was that Mide was all over him and saying that you were a fine boy and all of those things. And Morgan couldn't control it, and he fell for it. I mean, who wouldn't fall for a very beautiful girl as Mide, right? Especially when they are shooting their shot in that manner and in that way. Now, having said that, even though Bright Morgan knew he had a girlfriend, he couldn't, you know, withstand the onslaught of Mide. Mide, on the other hand, knew that Bright Morgan had a girlfriend outside. But I mean, we're in the house, right? Anything can happen outside. And if you even watch out for when she was evicted tonight, she was asked about Bright Morgan because a lot of Bright Morgan showed up in her highlights. And even aside the highlight, we knew there was a lot of things that happened in the house between both of them. I mean, a lot that happened. So you would think that most likely Bright Morgan was liking her. She was also liking him back. And they had told themselves, like, you know what, whatever happens here stays here. And maybe even continues outside, then that's fine. But I'm not too sure that the girlfriend outside was aware about all of these things, because she actually watched the show and she has been following the show, and she has friends who have been following the show, and they have been giving her a lowdown of every single conversation that Mide and Bright Morgan had in the house. And even on the very first day that Bright Morgan had sex with Mide in the house, the girlfriend outside knew. And that was the very day she broke up with him. That if this guy that she trusts, she loves, she gives everything, can betray her within a week of getting into the house, then that means this guy is not trustworthy and she cannot put up with it. And so there were a lot of screenshots. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that story. I just needed to wait to be sure of the kind of content I'm going to be putting out. So it happens that Bright Morgan came out and saw that she already knew everything that happened and tried reaching her and you know, couldn't. And then he started sending messages on social media saying all sorts of things like, I love you, I crave for you, I did this, I did that, you know, that kind of thing, trying to, you know, gain her attention. But it happens that she's not going to come back. She's not interested in coming back because of what had happened. So to make matters even worse, you know, there was a reason Ebuka was asking her, are you willing to explore further whether there is some sort of love interest with Morgan? And she says yes. That even complicates that. But if, for instance, she was trying to forego what had happened, that's the girlfriend of Morgan, by saying that, by Mide saying what she said while she was being evicted, you know, would put her on the loop. I mean, oh, well, that means I'm going to be fighting for you because this lady is saying that she doesn't mind exploring. And that's not the kind of person that I am. I don't want to fight for you. You are my man. We are together. We've been together. I've helped you in several things and all of those things. So there's some messages that she actually dropped on social media. And she said she was going to drop even more a little later. Let's just tell you what the story is. The ex-girlfriend of reality star Bright Chigozie Mbata, better known as Bright Morgan, has finally spoken after weeks of being mentioned in his interviews. In a series of Instagram story posts, she accused Bright of repeatedly keeping her name on his lips during his media rounds, saying he had now opened a can of worms. According to her, she officially ended things with him on August 7th, 2025, and even requested that he take her name off his wrist tattoo just 2 days ago. She revealed she had receipts of informing his parents, siblings, and friends when she walked away. Remember that they got into the house last week of July. She further claimed that only 7 days into their relationship, Bright asked her for financial help, saying he had no money for food or groceries. She admitted she supported him since then, stressing that her love for him was genuine, but insisting the full story is a lot deeper than people think. She also promised to properly address everything soon, hinting that she was pushed to speak up after Bright allegedly made false accusations against her in a recent interview. So, but quite frankly, if you look at the lady, she was just quite pretty. I mean, would I say prettier than Mide? Not necessarily, but I mean, on her own, you could tell that she's a pretty girl, and she's based in the United States. All right. So that's the latest with that, and I'm just wondering what the clash is going to be about: Mide versus her. If Mide decides to go further, and nobody knows how far someone can go when they're in love. When they're in love, of course, it's totally different. You don't know what's coming. You don't know whether that person has some bigger deal to crack. And I don't know whether Mide is that kind of girl who wouldn't also want to fight, because there are some ladies who would say, you know what, I don't want to be in this kind of situation. I'm too big and classy now, because I've gone to the Big Brother house and I'm back and I should be carrying myself. So I don't want to be in that kind of mess. So I probably just have to detach myself. Or better still, this lady now is also saying that, look, she doesn't trust Bright Morgan, even if at the end of the day, there's no situation, or they don't have any issues together. Okay, so there's still a lot more that's just to be seen. I can tell you for sure that relationship is gone forever, and I don't know whether Bright Morgan will keep begging her, because it does look like Bright hasn't said anything regarding his developments. He hasn't said whether she was telling the truth about helping him or giving him monies for food and groceries. He hasn't said anything about asking him to remove her name from his wrist. He hasn't said anything about what he said that may be false in his media rounds. So it's still neither here nor there. And I'm also seeing a post from her allegedly that she says she just spoke to her lawyer, and she's filing for some millions of naira settlement against Bright Morgan. Tell him to keep every single item, all the clothes, including the African ones that I made for him. It will be picked up. See him in court. That is exactly what the ex-girlfriend is saying. It's just crazy, man. It looks like it's going to be really messy. And so far, I haven't seen Bright Morgan made any comment regarding that. Would never release any statement. And it's quite unlike a situation where you would say, you know what the heck, what's that? Let's go to court, that kind of thing. But it does look like this girl's got him on the balls. Let me just take reactions from netizens. Patricia Eziogu says, so all this time, he did raise shoulder for BBN house. Now woman buy clothes for the woman buy clothes for him. But they also feed them join. Meanwhile, they never meet themselves. Me they run. Oh, you see that? And somebody says he looks that someone that confessed to have never dated women his age, but older women, is a kept man. Agege go even join too. That's why he hates girls like Diddy, because he knows that one they too smart with her finances, and now collector she be. If you not give nothing for you, Bright. So you had this kind of sponsor, and you were busy misbehaving as you touched down the house. Now wow for you. Joavina says, sorry to ask, you want sell them. Person want buy them for that orphanage adults. Brady says, I beg collect all your belongings. If not man, them go do worse. I support you. Odwakubong says, sister, calm down. It never reached like that now. Clara Chigozie Emezue says, this one, a second Zion. Oh. All these boys will come national TV knowing fully well, saying a woman, they sponsor them. Then go, they come, they disgrace themselves. Laugh out loud. Zainab says, that's why he's jealous of Kola. No wonder, now woman, they buy him clothes. Richard says, when man collect waiting him buy for woman, them go say, in the charges. Now look at this one. Mavis says, collect your name on his wrist too. Nice one. Cause if not them go collect all too. Joy Edeki says, it may seem as though Bright Morgan is finished. So now Yahoo guy self and all those I travel and I lie. Che, internet go really hot to make Mide come out first on Sunday. Make I check something. This person's already waiting for Mide. I mean, you could imagine if Mide hears this. I mean, it's going to be devastating. Somebody that she fell for. Well, in the house, everybody's equal. You can't really tell who is who and who isn't who, so. Choma says, now, Mide to cause this what? How? You kidding me right now? Esther Mfanto says, my sister, not too vexed. Since the prick still day intact, he never changed size. Playboy, Rono, fine guy, now opportunist. So men, them they get gold diggers too. I've been thinking saying now only women get gold diggers. So if you Otuko says now wahala, if you really love this guy, you don't need to go far. Right? Morgan don't buy job. Latif Afolabi says, Mide no go like this parole at all. This guy go lost both babe like this. So Cynthia says they had a legally binding relationship, or the court case is for what? I'm confused. Okay. Onyedim Mamong says, Sister Ruth, forgive him. He made a mistake. Please forgive him. He does not have such amount of money. Please let love lead. Mide cannot give him such money. They will break up soon. So just let go and love another person, okay? Amopeg Ogu says, did he borrow the money from you? You gifted him the money. Laugh out loud. They my fans. Jumoke says, so she did all that expecting something? If you truly love someone, you let them go when it's not working. Why take what you have given to them? Zena says, could someone please clarify whether they have never met? Why would a lady invest so much on a guy she has never met? Just curious. Nancy Chamaka, but I thought they said what is gotten from friendship ends in friendship. Now, since it's not marriage we are talking about here, I have always known that this bright, cunning man and nothing about him is genuine. All of that wouldn't be sustained by operation of law in a competent court. If he, that's Bright Morgan, counterclaim against your claims against him, considering the attention so that he gave you, plus the romances within the period of your love life, the case may be messy, and courts in West African nations do not entertain courtship dating cases. What you did was based on what he did for your pleasure, girl. Simply leave for good and move on. I'm just wondering how she's going to even follow the case, because she's going to come back to Nigeria and follow the case, because you cannot file in absentia. At some point, you have to come and defend it now if you're going to do all of those. That's what I'm just thinking, that like, this is just not going to work out. It's just maybe one of those bluffs that people do and say, and then we're talking, she earns in dollars. She's actually far richer than him. And so going to that far to go and sue somebody, sue for what? Did he beat you? The guy was just, found an opportunity from you, and you were giving into what he's got to give, and then you're all over the place ranting and shouting. Like just someone said, I think it's about time that she moves on, if at all, or better still, warn him to stay away from Mide, because I'm not sure. Mide looks so smart, too smart, Nigerian Yoruba, to start giving Morgan. And Bright Morgan looks like somebody who is not willing to work, to earn a living, So again, why wouldn't the lady, in fact, in America, get him visa to come over to America? That might be dangerous. So seeing what we have seen now, that might be dangerous. So you get him over to America and then he leaves you and go into another person. So maybe that might be dangerous. Maybe might be dangerous. But again, women have more power in America than Nigeria and Africa. So she could still have a power over him. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, it's just life for you. But like it or live it, this court case would not really go that far. I don't see it going that far. But again, there's still more to come. I'm sure there will be some more releases. I mean, some more explanation. Brad Morgan, I'm sure, is not going to let this go. I'm sure he's also planning what to do, how to respond to this development. Now Mide is out. Mide is going to be briefed by everybody that she knows about his escapade and how it has gone viral online. And then her responses would also come off. Of course, we're going to be seeing a lot of things all through this week as it unfolds properly. Well, congratulations to the finalists. I understand there are 8. Big Brother usually is not top 8 to the final. So we expect another eviction sometime within the week, maybe on a Wednesday or on a Thursday. Maybe after the pool party. They will now have maybe a top 7 or a top 6 that will go to the finals. But trust me, I'm not sure that all 8 will go to the finals for a chance to win it. I don't know. My mind is not just I don't know. They've changed the rules a lot these days, and you can't really keep track. But I'm looking forward to what's Big Brother this season would be about. Who are you rooting for? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And what's your reaction to this latest development regarding Bright Morgan's ex and, of course, Mide? Let me know in the comments. I'll also love to hear from you. Cheers.